Just wanted to give my take on the Charlottesville, Virginia issue that we're having. I'm sure as most of you have heard, there was protests going on, and what ended up happening was a man went through a whole group of protesters from both sides and ended up committing murder. Anyways, my thoughts on it were there was what is being called white nationalists. They're protesting the removal of the Robert E. Lee Confederate statue. Now, nationalists are people that want a nation to be independent from the rest of the world. Why they add white before it is beyond me, but they do it anyways. So these people were here and they were protesting the removal of this statue, which, by the way, they had permits and permission to do so. While doing so, people protesting that protest started showing up. What we had was Black Lives Matter start showing up. We had Antifa start showing up. The KKK showed up. Neo-Nazis showed up. The Black Panthers showed up. Now, Terry McAuliffe, which is the Democrat leader there, told the police to stand down at some point, which caused this huge problem. Why he told them to stand down and didn't get a hold of the situation, I think, is the main thing not being talked about here. But listen, anytime you have a group of people coming and burning flags in front of a person like a nationalist, there's going to be problems. Things got way out of hand yesterday. The police were told to stand down. That caused even more fights to where we ended up having somebody, for whatever reason it is, decide to plow through a whole street of people. Doesn't matter what his political affiliation was. None of that matters. What We don't know what actually happened with that yet. That has to come out in a trial, which has the right to have. He might end up being found that this guy is found not guilty. Maybe somebody hit him. Maybe somebody attacked him. We don't know. That's to be found out later. The problem with everything that happened was we don't need these other groups coming. Let them people protest the removal of the Confederate monuments. They believe strongly enough. There's no reason to come out there and add fire to the flame. It's a shame what happened. Now at least two people have lost their lives. The man that ran those people over, and at least a woman that I've heard of. I think she was 32 or something like that. This whole issue with the monuments has gotten crazy, and people are dying now. And somebody needs to step in and help the situation out. In either way, either we sit down and say get rid of them, or we sit down and say okay, we'll leave them. Maybe not from government spots or whatever, but it's got to be figured out. I mean, it's getting to be a very, very big hot topic. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I've never made one of these videos before. I hope it helps enlighten some people, maybe open up some conversation. But I wanted to start. Thanks for listening. Feel free to leave any comments.